Hello, and welcome to my stables. I am the Chocobo Keeper. I am playing the Testing Chambers again, and I'm doing the multiple run-throughs, and if you remember from last episode, I beat the game, and it said I was missing one journal page. Well, I found it. There is no clock with it. That's why it's just unwritten. So this playthrough, I'm doing the opposite answers. I'm going through all the left doors, but I'm still collecting everything just to see if the ending will change, if the reflection will change if I have 100% collection rate. So I am going to write this one down. I'm going to label this as the desert. Going to make sure I don't accidentally click anything. So I will... Oh, because I'm on the keyboard. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer these non-truthfully, but I will explain my answer what I would actually pick. But since this is my opposite playthrough, then I'm just going to do the opposite. Do you ever wish life could be free of drama? Yeah, it causes so much stress. Oops. That was supposed to be a no answer. If you could leave your current life behind to live in paradise, would you do it? In actuality, no. Would you ever live in a place where crime was commonplace and it was up to you constantly to have to defend yourself if need be? No, I would not live in a place like that. If you discovered that when you were conceived you were one of 4 identical embryos who look, talk, and act just like you, would you ever want to meet your other siblings? I think I would. I think it would be an interesting concept. We're conceived by 4 different people. I think it'd be interesting to see how we are as people and keep in touch from there. Would you consider yourself to be the most honest person you know? I'm going to say no on that one. Sometimes you just... Because I'm not honest with myself a lot. Sometimes... I think... Like, if I tell myself ABC, but I truly feel DEF, you know, sometimes my brain lies to myself. So I would say no to this one. People are strange when you're a stranger. Do you agree with this statement? Oh, people are strange. Yeah, normally I would, yeah. Because you don't know them and, well, you're the odd one out, actually. Do you believe that one should always stand for what they believe in, regardless of the consequences? Yes, I do believe they should do that. Because if you stand for nothing, you're going to fall for everything. Have you ever caused someone to have a near-death experience? Oh god, no. Would you play Russian roulette for a chance at $10,000 or $10 million? If you win, you walk away with the money, but if you refuse to play, your net worth immediately becomes zero and you lose everything you've worked for. Oh, shit. So at this point, I would lose my car. I'd be losing the future house I'm going to be moving in. I'd lose all my... Oh my god. Normally, if they would just leave it at the question, I'd say no. But putting that swinger in there, putting that curveball, I would... Yeah, because I don't want to lose everything. So, normally I would say yes, because of that curveball. Are you oftentimes afraid of change? Sometimes. Because I'm so used in my set bubble. I'm used to my routine. When there's a drastic change that's going to affect my way of life, it's just kind of like, am I sure about this? Normally, I would say yes. Do you suffer from pain on a daily basis? Yes, I do, thanks to, medical issues. Have you ever wished that you couldn't feel pain at all? Oh, yeah. That would make life so much easier. Like, oh, you may fall off a roof. I won't feel it. I'll be fine. Oh, look, I've been impaled. I don't feel pain because here's the thing. Pain is what leads people to go into shock, which causes more problems. If you don't feel pain, you're able to keep yourself calmer because pain is not something the body is normally used to. It breaks the homeostasis. When you introduce pain to something, it just sends your adrenaline going, your heart rate racing, your breathing increases, your blood pressure up, everything. Without pain, it would be so much easier to handle medical emergencies. And you wouldn't have to be, prescribed medication. And that could take away a lot, like the drug addictions for narcotics. So there's that. The only downfall is if you don't feel pain, you could actually make yourself worse. Because if you don't feel pain, you're just going to keep going about your normal life. If you could grow wings and fly far away, would you? If I am able to take my loved ones with, then yes. Yes, I would. But I'll say no for this one because that's how this test is. Do you ever feel invisible to the world? Sometimes. I mean, I'm one person against 7 billion. If the things you owned and what you purchased had no bearing on what people thought of you, would you choose to spend your money differently? No, because I spend my money how I want anyway, and I don't care what people think. That's my money. I worked for it. So I'm gonna do whatever I want. Alright, that's the end. Man, I can't believe I missed that, but you know what? I was so enthralled with, like, the beauty and everything else, I totally missed it. Because it kind of blends in with the area, if you think about it. So I will jump back at you when we are at the end of the game. Alright, we are back again. This is not the end. I believe this is the room before the end room. And if you remember, this table wasn't lit up because we didn't have all the pages. Well, we have 18 pages now, so we're going to see what happens when we interact with this. A mysterious altar stands before you. Upon the altar rests a tattered diary. The first page seems to be ripped out. The parchment material used in this diary seems familiar. You begin to piece together each torn journal page that you've collected from previous rooms to form a full page in the diary. Final entry. An empty sky leaves our prayers in vain, a solemn swear through darkened window panes. We confess our sins of flesh and blood, for we bury deep and swept away by flood. Our ashes carried in the midnight wind, a bitter vow we wish we could rescind, a fallacy of hope to raise our spirits high, for we're dropped below and left there to die. Appraisal of worth judged by our peers, a sign of affection as they wipe our tears. They bottle our blood and drink our sweat, to build a future we don't deserve to get. And if the fires come to claim us all, the few brave souls that refuse to fall will echo through the walls of eternity to a future that the lowly won't rise to see. We chase the demons of the past to build a kingdom that will never last. Upon sweat and tears, blood and bone, we build a new place to call our home. Signed, the Madman. Interesting. And that's it. Now, hopefully this will be the last jump to the ending. So we collected all the petals. We get the same King Nothing ending. I'm going to take the petals and see what he says. You fool. To think that you can think to possess them, even after my warnings. This burden I bear should rest upon your shoulders too. You shall be crowned King Nothing. Oh, that's it? Does he say anything else? I dub thee King Nothing. Is that all he says? Yep. Okay. Final room time. Alright, so this playthrough you actually have to collect the wisdom tokens and place them at the statue's feet in order to progress. And there was only one set of answers. It was the very last book. Where it was the Bloodstained Journal that you had to fill in the blanks in order to progress. So, hopefully this gets us somewhere. Oh, here we go. The Reflection of the Fortress. The story of the fortress is surely an interesting one. It's said that the reflection of the fortress represents the soul of someone who has been hurt or traumatized in the past and has put their defenses up. It is a fortress of solitude, a safe place with heavily fortified walls to protect the parts of ourselves that we guard all too well. It is carried by a turtle to symbolize how slowly we move through life and how long it takes us to trust someone enough to let them into our fortress. It is also carried upon the back of the turtle to symbolize the burden it is to be so untrusting of others with our deepest secrets that we hold so dear. Oftentimes it's because we fear the judgment of others and we're afraid to open up and let someone within our walls. Other times it's just because we've let people in before and they made themselves appear like they could be trusted and then proved otherwise. So we're fearful of what might occur if we make the same mistake with the wrong person once again. Fortunately, this defense mechanism of building walls is one fallback and caveat of grave detriment. And that, my friend, is that walls do not discriminate. Walls do not just keep bad people out who seek to do us harm, but they have a nasty habit of keeping all people out. So while our subconscious minds use it to protect and defend ourselves from those seeking to do us harm, or come harboring ill intent, they also keep out those who mean us no harm at all, often wanting what's best for us. We push those away from our fortress for fear they will bring harm to us or abandon us in our time of need, thus creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of pain and abandonment. The reflection of the fortress is here to let us know that the burden of carrying walls is one that will impede our journey through life, and we must take comfort in our own inner strength that we possess. We've been through so much, and we've survived. If we can do it once, we can do it again if need be, as long as we have the confidence and knowledge that we are survivors. We have an uncanny ability to take on the world like no one else ever could. If we continue to push the world away, however, or keep the world out, so to speak, then we will never have the things we truly want in life, and the weight of the fortress we carry on our backs will eventually sink us under its vast, burdensome, hulking mass. We will plummet to the depths of the ocean that we're so desperately treading through to find the land we can call home once and for all. We must let our walls and have faith in our inner strength. We must have confidence in ourselves to know that we can and we will survive anything that comes our way. Let the reflection of the fortress be your warning and your blessing to a more open and illustrious future. You don't deserve to carry such weight on your shoulders. Your swim, your journey, will be so much easier once you shed the dead weight you've carried for so long. Your secret word is fortress. Okay. Oh, and another thing is sometimes, well, not sometimes, the room before the Bloody Journal, there's the statue, and there's King Nothing sitting there, and he basically says, you don't have enough petals for me, fuck off. Pretty much like, I only care about petals. I have no time for you if you don't have petals. Damn, son. So, there's that. Oh, I also went through all the right doors, and it leads to the same rooms. So, it just depends on what you feel like, left or right, at that point in time. 0 out of 0 out of 0. I did keep all the rest of the wisdom tokens on me though, so so there's that. I think next playthrough. Let's see. I collected nothing. I don't know. I don't know how I'll play the next run through, but I will let you know when we get to the mirror again. 2 down, 3 more to find. My god. Alright guys, I'm just gonna run around here while I do a little bit of end episode talking. I have been running around for hours. I looked on Steam and I've been playing this game for 7.5 hours. And I've only gotten 2 endings. With the reflections and all that, and I think there's 5. I believe the game says 5. I've gotten multiple dualities, multiple fortresses. There's apparently a shepherd, a shackled, and reflection of the goblet. But I have played many different ways. I have played through doing absolutely nothing except collecting the I collected everything. I chose all the left doors, and I did my opposite answer thing. I still got the same reflection. Same story, same word. I got the fortress ending by doing all the right rooms. I didn't answer anything except for the bloodstained journal, and I kept the tokens all to myself. And then my most recent playthrough off camera, I collected everything except the butterflies, and all my answers were yes, and I still got the fortress ending. So I would like to read the other stories of the other 3 reflections. So if you've played this game and you've gotten the ending, tell me what you've collected. Tell me, you know, what answers you chose, like when you're up against the 3 teddy bears, the 2 dolls, the switches where it's like green 2, red 1, blue 3, and black 4, you wouldn't push any. Go ahead, tell me that in the comments below, because I really would like to see and read those stories for everyone else that is also interested in getting the rest of the other reflections. But thank you so much for toughing through this and watching my videos. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, ring the bell so you know when the next video is out. It is time to close the stables. I will see you when we open up next. Bye!